Hey guys, this is Jamin with Point Tech, and we're bringing you another do-it-yourself laptop repair video. Today we're working on an HP Chromebook, and we're going to show you how to replace the battery inside of it. First thing we're going to do is flip it over. We're going to start by removing all the screws on the bottom case. It helps if you have a magnetized screwdriver, just makes it a lot faster. Otherwise you're going to be flipping the computer over every 2 seconds to shake loose a screw. So you can see I had 3 screws along the top, 4 screws along the bottom, and I had 2 screw holes in the middle-ish, but they don't have screws on them. This is a used unit. But go through, make sure you get all your screws. There's nothing worse than using all your might trying to pry apart a bottom case and a palm rest when you left a screw in and you end up breaking it. Also, a lot of companies hide screws under your feet. So we'll pop, okay, so as you can see, I popped this foot off and there was a screw there. So there's probably one here too. Yep. I'll check these forward ones. Okay, no screw there, so I'm pretty sure there's no screw here. But yeah, so as you can see, a lot of computers, they'll hide screws under the feet. Make sure you get those too, because again, you'll be prying it apart and you'll end up breaking it. Alright, so those are all off. I've double checked, I've gotten all my screws. Now I'm going to take my pry tool, thin metal pry tool. We're going to take my pry tool and we're going to go across the seam of the computer and slowly pop it up. As you're doing this and you're getting some parts of it to pop up, hold up what you've already got, because it'll fall back down and it'll reattach itself. Alright, so that'll be a little difficult. Just again, make sure you get your screws and go nice and slow. Now when you take off this palm rest, as you can see, you can't just rip it off. It's connected to your motherboard by a couple ribbon cables. So the way that you would do this, I have a plastic pry tool here. You don't want to put metal in here while the battery is still connected, because there's power running through it, and if you touch things you shouldn't touch, you'll create connections that shouldn't be made and you'll ruin your motherboard. So I have a plastic pry tool. I'm going to go down in here. There's a clip, a plastic clip that's holding down your ribbon cable. What you want to do is pop that up and it releases your ribbon. Same thing with this one, it's just smaller. Pop it up, ribbon comes out. So you take your palm rest, put it to the side. There's your battery. You can see it's connected to your motherboard. Oops, put these back down so I don't break them. Connected to your motherboard here. Now resist the urge to pull the wires, to pull them by the wires, because oftentimes these are fragile and you'll pull the wires right out of their own connector. So instead of pulling wires out of any connection in a computer, try to pull the actual port that's coming out of. So I'm going to take my fingernails, put it on either side, slide that out, right like that. So your motherboard is a little safer to work on now, your battery's out, and we're going to go along and unscrew the battery from the case. Still be careful where you touch with your metal tools. It's just a little safer now to work on it. Also, the kind of screws that go in various parts of a computer they can be different. So keep your battery screws separate from the bottom case screws. Also, in general, it's good when you open a computer up to take a picture with a smartphone or something so you know how everything was before you got in there, in case you need any reference point. So now I get the screws out. Your battery comes right out like that. Slides right out. So to replace your battery, put the new one in, set it down where that went, it'll go in the cradle. Replace all the screws. And again, if you did take that picture, you'd know where these screws are located. Okay, so screws are back in place. Gonna plug my battery back in. Like that. Just take a visual, make sure you didn't accidentally pop anything else out. You know, some ribbon cables, the antenna cables are very fragile, so make sure you didn't loosen anything while you were in there. Then you're going to pop these clips up. Okay, I'm going to put this small one in first. Awkward angle for the camera, but... Okay, small one's in. Now put the large one in. Okay. Now, as always, Chromebooks are easy. As you see, the screen activated when we plugged in your battery. But before you go ahead and screw everything down, make sure that everything works. Make sure your touchpad works and your keys work and your screen works. There's nothing worse than to screw all your bottom case screws back in, get everything shut, then test it, and figure out that something's still loose. So once you know everything's fine, you just snap this back into place. And you would replace your bottom screws on the bottom. So again, if you had any questions, if you got stuck, please message us, let us know. If you like this, please like and share if it helped. And if you enjoyed do-it-yourself laptop repair, please subscribe. Thank you for watching.